Now, I love Apex and I love the pros of Apex. I respect a lot of their decisions and I respect a lot of their reasonings for the things that they normally want, but I've never seen a game that has such a high content of pro players wanting everything removed in the game. You guys know the collection event is coming next month, and of course I'm giving away an heirloom, as always, multiple heirlooms, but one right here. All you gotta do is leave a comment on this video and all my future videos until it comes out. You have a chance to win. I'm gonna be picking multiple finalists from every video and then spinning a wheel with all the finalists, and you got to be subscribed to win, so make sure you're subscribed. I may or may not be also picking a random person who uses code JMeyels on their Glytch energy order to give away another heirloom. So, you know, starting today, May 26th, any orders using my code as a discount are entered into a chance for the second heirloom giveaway. So for pretty much all games, there will be times where pro players find things that they think are imbalanced or just not really good for the game, especially things that are normally used in public match. Well, since the dawn of time, it seems like Apex has had a higher rate of, you know, wanting things removed from the game, according to the pros. At least they want it removed, and it's also probably like the highest rated game of tension between, you know, casuals and pros, and the conversation never stops when it comes to Apex pros wanting certain things removed. Now, we talked about 11 months ago, Apex pros actually wanted crossplay removed, and the reasoning did make sense, but it is weird thinking about ever removing such a feature that, you know, has brought so many people together. So if you guys missed that video, basically they wanted it removed because they didn't want to have to play against console players in rank, and it's not fair as PC players that they don't get to choose whether or not console players are in there, but console players get to choose whether or not they play with PC players. And basically the complaint was that crossplay gets to allow basically all the console players together, and they get to have a grand old time, and they get to choose not to play in PC lobbies if they don't want to. The PC players don't get that extra queue time benefit of having all the console players whenever they want to play, because the console players can opt out to play with PC players just by simply not having one in their lobby. But if they choose to queue up with one, then obviously they opt themselves in for the PC matches. So here we are today, experiencing another movement that in my opinion will probably be successful at the hands of the Apex pros advocating to remove the gold knockdown shield. For the last couple of months, maybe even a year, it's been more so just, you know, discussion on Twitter and just impression farming on Twitter to remove this, remove that, but it definitely seems like it is now escalated and many more people are talking about it all the time. It's not really been something that just pops up and then goes away really quickly. It's been non-stop talking about removal of the knockdown shield. I would say it's been a pretty active discussion for the past 6 months, but it's definitely amped up here in the last week. A lot of pro players, a lot of people, influencers in general, talking about it, and actually Imperial House, what we're going to be talking about today, tagging Apex, tagging Play Apex, the official Twitter account, and said, hey, since now placement is so much more important in ranked because of the new rank system, do you mind removing the gold knockdown? Sincerely, the Apex community. And he tags at Play Apex. Now, I think it's kind of funny and ironic that he tags the Apex community, because a lot of the Apex community does not agree. They don't agree with this because they think that the pros are complaining too much. Even Phantom said here, pros will not stop until the game is stripped of all the fun. Now, is self-res probably the greatest thing for ranked? Probably not. But do games need those fun factors, those wild cards? I think they do. Many people are also saying, you know, just thirst the gold knockdown. It's not that simple when you're in a high level pred lobby to just be able to thirst. From a pro's perspective, I totally get what he's trying to say. I was actually watching a video from Optic Scumpy this morning over on the Call of Duty scene, and he made a great point as to why many pros in many different games like things in public matches and ranked play to be a certain way. And basically they said they like for pubs and ranked to be identical as much as possible to the actual competitive scene. In their mind, they're competitive players and they want what is best for competitive, and obviously the gold knockdown shield or the removal thereof may be the best for competitive, especially at like ALGS type stuff. And the comparison was that, I don't know if you guys played Call of Duty back in the day, this isn't even really back in the day. Advanced Warfare though had all of those variant guns, so that you could be playing with the ASM1, the BAL 27, but there were variants that you could get in supply drops where it gave you extra mags, it gave you all this, you know, different fire rate, and so it was a different kind of play style that you could play in rank, because you could use these variant weapons in rank, but obviously they're banned for the competitive scene. Well, the problem here with Apex is it's not as simple as just banning something, because you have to go into like the game's file code to stop the you know, popping up of gold knockdown shields, that you have to make it not spawn, because unlike Call of Duty, it's a lootable item and not necessarily an item that you equip. So if pro players are wanting it removed not only in comp, but now they're talking about even ranked, I mean, this sounds like it's going to be an entirely different thing, and it might even come out or maybe even change around in the public matches. So it may even filter over that if they change the purpose of what the gold knockdown does, which is obviously a self revive. Now, a lot of people's idea is to basically not allow the self revive to work unless one of your teammates are still standing up. So if all your teammates are down and then you go down, then obviously you'll just die. You don't get to use the self revive. But if one of your teammates is still standing when you go down, then you can do it. Something I found really odd though was the fact that he tagged it with Apex community, saying that the Apex community wanted this and not necessarily just the Apex competitive scene or just the Apex esports scene or the pro scene, because I don't think that's entirely accurate. I think most of the pro scene probably wants a change to it, but most of the, you know, casual scene out there don't really care, nor do they probably want it changed. You do have to find a healthy balance and keep it careful, because yes, on one hand, I totally agree that, you know, Apex is probably more healthy if you move in this direction, you know, for competitive. However, the casual player base makes up a really big portion of it, and you don't want the game to get too sweaty that it drives people away. I think you see in games like Fortnite that whenever the turbo building became a thing and people started building mansions in 0.2 seconds, and then it just became all your public match sweats doing this all the time, and it drove a lot of people away. A lot of people couldn't casually have fun. Now obviously I think it brought a lot of people back when they did the no building stuff. And then even over on Splitgate, you know, you have the portals and stuff, and some pro players are just so good at it that it drives the casuals away because it's such a hard mechanic to get good at. You just got to be careful, because you don't want public matches to get so sweaty that they're not even fun to play anymore. And although I do think the rank changes are pretty good for the rank system and it being an actual rank system and not necessarily just a participation trophy, I do think that at some point it could have an impact with all the player base getting maybe frustrated because the games have become so sweaty. But speaking of the player base, you don't have to worry about the player base too soon, because Fallout, which is an ALGS caster, we've been talking about him here recently, I don't know why he keeps popping up on the channel, anyways, had brought this to our attention a couple of days ago. Actually, it's been a couple of weeks ago, that 412,556 concurrent players playing Apex on Steam alone during the launch of season 13. It's an all-time high or record for Apex, and that's only on Steam. Imagine the total amount across Apex, PlayStation, Switch, Origin, and soon Apex Mobile, which obviously is here now. I would say probably this season's our highest player base, concurrent player base ever, which is weird because it's not necessarily a particular big season. Also, I'm pretty sure the Xbox DDoS thing has been fixed for a couple of days now, but Pav did say this yesterday that the update was released and that, you know, basically let him know if there was any other issues. I'm pretty sure the issues are widespread gone, and there's no actual issues going on anymore. So thanks to Pav. Well, I'm sure it was someone else who brought the update, but when Pav tweets about it, you know it's probably legit. Also, PvP responded to him though and said Caustic Barrel Bug, I hope, is next. And obviously you guys don't know, there's a God mode bug right now with Caustic where he literally will not take damage unless you throw grenades at him, and none of the gunshots do any damage to him. And you got to be careful, because you could have someone in your ranked lobby basically abusing this and farming a lot of RP just because they can't die. And also some more changes that it seems like pro players want to make to the rank system already. PvP said ranked is starting to become 8 squads alive in zone 1 because there's so many gold/plats in pred lobbies. And Hotsick said, yeah, I kind of hate it, but it's the product of us complaining about 5-minute queue times. You either get good lobbies and have to wait longer, or shorter queues with way worse lobbies. Pick your poison. Imagine the complaining if people were top level in League/Dota. PvP said, I think it should rarely be insta queues in pred lobbies, but currently queues are really short. It should be at least a mandatory 3 or 4 minute queue every time. So considering our rank system is pretty drastically different from what it used to be, let me know any changes that you would make to the rank system right now to make it more balanced, or would you revert it back to the way it used to be? Is the new rank system better, or is the old rank system better? Let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget you'll be entered into the giveaway by doing that as well. And also make sure to use code JMeyels on your Glytch Energy checkout starting today, May 26th. Any orders that are made from now towards the end of June, I'll be picking a random order for a second giveaway on the Heirloom. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, I will see you later, Gators.